Hi, my name is Missy. So let's do some readings. I have some new cards that I want to share with you guys today. I'm not exactly sure what kind of reading this is going to be, as usual. I'm just going to wing it like I always do. If you've been watching any of my most recent readings, you know that I've been trying to focus these readings around the cards that I've been purchasing to offer for sale on my website. And so here we have a new deck. This one is called the Universal Transparent Tarot. So very interesting deck. As you can see, each of the cards is basically transparent with the exception of, oh, I have them upside down. I don't have my glasses on, forgive me. I'm trying to be able to see the computer screen so I can see that whether or not the camera's focusing. So as you can see, it has the picture of each of the tarot cards, but for the most part the card itself is clear, and that's so that you can build them. See? So we're going to use them right now. We're going to use them in a reading. Let me actually explain a little further. This card here is part of the set. I actually glued it to the inside of my board so that I could use this to do this particular reading. I'm going to make some other real quick readings with this as well. But this is the background card that say once you pull your cards, if you put this over the background, then you can see your image there. You can build on top of it. Very cool. So let me show you the rest of, well, not a whole lot left, but there's this card which I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be for. I just took it out because it confuses me. I haven't figured out a way that I want to use it yet. So unless someone knows, but to be honest, I did not read the book. I don't ever read a book when I get a new deck of cards. That's my rule. And funny enough that I was just talking to someone this morning who I've been trying to teach how to read cards, and she was reminding me that one of the first things that I told her, which I know that I tell everyone this is the biggest and best piece of advice I can give to anyone who reads cards, which is throw the book away. When you get your deck of cards, throw the book away, put it in a drawer, put it somewhere where you're not going to look at it, where you're not going to read what someone else's interpretation of those cards is. You want to get to know the cards for yourself, right? So anyway, I did not read this book. I don't know exactly if this card here is supposed to have a special meaning, but this one was pretty easy to figure out. And as you can see, the book is pretty small and it has a couple of different languages here, so you're only going to get maybe 10 or 15 pages of information for the cards anyway, so you kind of have to figure it out with these decks. All right. So one thing I'm noticing with this deck, because I have been playing with it, excuse me, it's a little slippery. So if you're someone like me who likes to use lotion, that kind of stuff, like, you might want to pay attention to that, because they do get a little bit, they get slippery. I've had a few times that they just kind of slide everywhere and the cards fly. Other than that, they're pretty easy to handle, pretty well made. So let's get into it. What we're going to do is, I'm actually going to do the reading first here with the focus card. I'm going to show you guys how to build them to get your reading. Unfortunately, I do not have a camera that I can zoom in so that you can see the cards better. That's something I have to look at in the future. But I will explain it as we go, and then at the end we'll go ahead and pull some charms to see if there are any extra messages that your team wants you to have. All right, so take a minute to breathe with me. I'll go ahead and get the cards shuffled. I'm gonna have to do this. I didn't think about my cute little setup here. And actually, now that we're talking about the setup, that reminds me of something else that I wanted to explain for this reading. Because of the astrology that we have happening right now, we've got Venus combust, along with the solar eclipse happening. So Venus goes combust on the 23rd, I believe it is, and then we have the solar eclipse on the 25th. And so, you know, this is energy, especially with everything that was happening in Libra recently, all of this relationship energy that we have going on, the retrogrades. There's a very good chance that there will be, you know, relationships happening, relationship issues happening, love issues happening. So I wanted to focus this reading on that. I want to focus solely on love. This is not going to be anything about work, money, none of that kind of stuff, unless it comes up as part of the love reading. Sorry, the song in the background is kind of catching my attention. I wasn't in the reading yet, but we have Young Life Crisis by Upsall. That could be a message for someone that you may want to look up. So anyway, when I was looking at, you know, what were the crystals and things that I wanted to incorporate into the reading, like what is the energy that I wanted to bring into the reading, because we're talking about love and relationships, well, I was looking at what I had, and every single piece that I have picked for this particular setup here, including this particular box, actually, with the exception of the cards and the flowers, and actually I have a couple of rings here too that were gifts as well. But anyway, but with the exception of the flowers and the cards and this particular board here, everything here was a gift from someone to me. So they all hold special meanings. So I want to kind of leave this here, which means the reading may take an extra minute or two so that I can shuffle between, because I don't want to have to move my board out of the way. I want to keep the picture pretty. All right, so now take a minute to breathe with me, please. Hi, Capricorn. So we're starting off with the song Mine, End This Way by Five Finger Death Punch. So if you're not familiar with the song, when you go to type it into Google, you're going to want to type in the word mine, all in capital letters with periods between each letter. So capital M period, capital I period, capital N period, capital E period. It's by Five Finger Death Punch. There might be a message for you here. We will start off with the first few verses, which talks about everybody hurts, everybody bleeds, everybody bends to fill a need, everybody's born with their own curse, and I'm not alone. It just keeps going on from there. It could have been much worse, but it should have been better. Okay, so let's go ahead and breathe while I shuffle. Couple more. This song is energy of conflict with someone, severe conflict with someone, and yet I feel like they're sorry for this conflict. That's what they're saying. You know, I'm sorry that there's this conflict, but we kind of both knew this is how it was going to go. We knew things were going to end this way, basically. So kind of heavy energy, which doesn't really surprise me considering the astrology. We do have Pluto in the last few degrees of Capricorn. Just went stationed direct after his last retrograde in Capricorn before he moves into Aquarius. So, you know, a lot of endings. and new beginnings, obviously, new chaotic beginnings once Pluto moves into Aquarius. So depending on where Aquarius sits in your chart, which house it sits in, you know, maybe there could be a little bit of rebellion and chaos coming in to that area of your life as the result of an ending that happened in the previous house, being the house of Capricorn, or wherever you have the last 5 degrees of Capricorn. So let's say between 25 to 30, or excuse me, 25 to 29 degrees. All right. Now we have the song Judith by A Perfect Circle. I didn't realize I have been shuffling for 3 whole minutes. I apologize for that, but you know, it's just, we gotta follow. I feel like it goes this way. Follow the energy. Interesting. So we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands. I feel like the color on the Queen of Pentacles is very muted. Maybe it's just me. It seemed like it got brighter once I held it up to the camera. Maybe it's my light. You know, I am running out of light because it's getting later in the day. That's a very real possibility. I just don't want to turn the light above me on because it'll ruin the way the video looks. So we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands. You are Capricorn energy. The Queen of Pentacles can represent you, but it's more than likely that you're dealing with another earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And it has to do with like someone's thoughts, ideas, passions, especially going back to the first song, right? It's like your ideas, what you were passionate about clash. You clash. But there is a new beginning here as well. It's like one person is thinking about a new beginning. Or something, there's something that they're thinking about because this is sitting above the Queen of Pentacles, so it's on her mind, right? Some sort of idea or something that is a very passionate thought. Oh, look at, now we've got Capricorn, which is your card, but it's also the one sitting on the bottom of the deck, the most prominent energy. The thing is, Capricorn, well, not Capricorn, but the Devil card is Capricorn in its toxic energy. The Devil is toxic energy. This is the card of addiction, obsession, greed, control, power, lust, envy, all of the, you know, all of the negative aspects of the number 6, right? Or the negative aspects of Venus. Because, you know, it's the material world, and the number 6 has to do with the material world being like love or money, things that happen in the 3D, your relationships. So anyway, and we do have the Ace of Cups there as well, so we have more confirmation of a relationship. We have the Two of Wands sitting underneath the Ace of Cups, so this is which direction do I take? And this is the King of Wands wondering which direction do I take in love? All right, over here we've got the Six of Pentacles, which is the energy of charity, you know, support, helping, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. But then you've got the Devil as the most prominent energy, even though the rest of this is pretty, you know, it's not negative, it's pretty positive, right? Who do I give my love to, or where do I go for love? Which path do I take to find love? Only you keep finding this path here, which is toxic. So it's a pattern. It was obviously a pattern. Well, this is Capricorn energy, and as we said, this is more earth energy. So you're definitely dealing with another earth sign, but it's a pattern of toxic behavior with that earth sign. over your ideas of how to do things, or if it's not over like clashing over the ideas of how to do things, it's clashing over a creative idea, like some sort of new beginning, some sort of new creative something. Let's see, what is this new beginning? Let's go ahead and ask that question. Zorro. No, my dog's trying to steal the cat's food. Like I always say to everyone, I don't take anything for granted ever. This card, look at the Devil card just popped out again. Greed, 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 greed. And I was just getting ready to say I don't ever take anything for granted in a reading. If something happens during a reading, I take it as part of the reading. And the fact that my dog was trying to steal my cat's food and then the Devil card popped out again, I think somebody's being greedy. Maybe somebody either did steal something from someone else or tried to, or is trying to, or somebody thinks somebody's trying to. We have the song, hold on. Caught Up in the Rapture, Anita Baker. Caught Up in the Rapture, interesting. Now we've got Temperance, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups again. I can barely make out these cards. Oh, the Eight of Wands. I can't make out the last one. So we have a lot of messages of love coming, so conversations, loving conversations will balance out this situation, especially if it's like if this is a family situation, right? Long-term family situation, or a situation that's surrounding security, right? The foundation of something. Again, remember, we could have been about a creative project. So if it's a creative, like if this was a business partnership that went sour, that's what that Ten of Pentacles could be about. If it's a family situation, it's like your family's security is needs to be balanced, and it's through loving communication that will happen, because there was clashing communication before. Each person does things differently, right? Their ideas are different. Again, if this is like a business partnership that kind of went sour, it's because your ideas were too different. But the best way to overcome that, to fix the situation, is through compromise. You have to talk about it. I think this is the Justice card. In fact, I'm certain of it now. The more that I look at it, this is the Justice card. So you definitely got to that's the only way to bring balance and justice back to this situation. You have to talk about what you think is unfair, what you don't want to say out loud, the injustice that you don't want to speak about. Like whether it's the theft, like you think somebody stole from you, but you don't have proof, right? Okay, so what it's saying here, like especially if you think somebody was trying to cheat you out of something, I feel like it's saying there's like forgiveness needs to be had, but the only way forgiveness can be had is by talking about it. Very interesting though, because these two cards here, the Eight of Wands and the Justice card, are like you almost cannot see them. They're very, very much obscured. Like they're almost invisible, right? Maybe you haven't talked to this person in a while because of all the arguing, and that could be literally in fact, now that I'm saying it, I feel like even more I'm certain that's what this is saying. You don't want any of this. You want this to stay hidden. So you have to have this loving communication in order to balance it out and bring the family back together if it's a family issue. If it's a business partnership or project, you have to learn to compromise with each other and try out each other's ideas. Stop thinking you're the smartest person in the room, because Capricorn can be so damn competitive. Jeez, it's all about status, status, status. I mean, obviously Capricorn is 10th house, right? Which is where your reputation lies. We have the song here, the 2 a.m. version by Alicia Cara. Okay, so I'm gonna get some charms. All right, so you could be dealing with a Virgo. We already knew that there was other earth energy around you, but now it's confirmed. Probably somebody with a Virgo sun, because it's coming out right next to the sun here on the charm board. We also have the breath rune, or the rune, like the god's breath rune, meaning, or Odin's breath, meaning answers or communication. So again, if you put these three together and you have this rose quartz that came out there as well, it's just confirming and like doubling down on what I already said the advice is, right? Gentle communication, but you definitely have to talk about it, right? That's what brings clarity and balances things out. You have the $100 bill that came out with the sign of Cancer, so you could be dealing with a Cancer sun, moon, or rising. Like there could be a loss. There could be a loss. And I have to, God, you know, this is the astrological sign of Cancer coming out, but I got to be honest, there could have been a loss here from like a cancer, like from cancer, the actual disease, and it was a huge loss, like a painful loss. And with this owl, the blue owl coming out, it's intuitive wisdom, right? Maybe the person, the person that you lost was either a Virgo or a Capricorn. You lost them from Cancer, and now they're speaking to you intuitively. They're trying to give you wisdom intuitively to bring joy back to your life because of the Christmas bells. They want to bring joy back to your life. They want to prepare you, or that you need to be prepared. This is a charm that speaks to bringing the right tools, you know, making sure you have the right tools for the job. So be prepared. Make sure of that. You also have the rune of justice that came out in the neutral position right here on the side. So justice will prevail. Right? Justice will prevail. Well, right now it's sitting neutral, right? I think the reason that justice will prevail is going to come through forgiveness and communication. And then look, you've got the blank rune, meaning that, or excuse me, the blank domino, not the blank rune, but I read it like the blank rune because there are no numbers there. It's sort of like a cycle that's, you know, it's an unknown cycle that keeps repeating, or there's the unknown, right? There's no more to see at this moment because it's unknown, right? You have to, and even as I was getting ready to say what I'm saying, she's saying in the background, if you're ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah. If you're ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah. If you're ready, then I'm ready. So I feel like there's forgiveness that needs to happen here. And yeah, be prepared because it's time for forgiveness. Interesting. Okay. We have one last song, River, but I was already kind of done with the reading, so I'm gonna say that maybe you could be dealing with an Aquarius as well, because I know that this next song is going to be for the sign of Aquarius. So if you are dealing with an Aquarius, you might want to watch the next reading. But this song is River by Bishop Briggs. Okay, let me, and I hope that resonates. If it does not, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does. I got ahead of myself. I almost went right into Aquarius's reading, but I have to end this particular reading so I can move on. And wow, now that I think about it, that was really quick too, with the charms and everything, right? Your reading was only 17 minutes, but that's okay. I hope that resonates. If it does not, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does, possibly for Aquarius. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, anything you can to help me. And I thank you very much for watching.